Gentlemen, we will start our webinar shortly. Honorable Secretary of Directorate General of Higher Education as the representative of the Ministry, Honorable Director of Simeo Secretariat, Honorable Board of Directors of Simolec, Honorable Speakers, Partners, and the committee of this international webinar, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to International Webinar on Ensuring Internet Safety, Safeguarding Your Online Journey. We are sincerely grateful and appreciate your participation in this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sani, and I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremony for the opening session of today's webinar. The primary goal of this international webinar is to empower individuals with the knowledge and skills to protect themselves from potential dangers on the internet. As our world becomes increasingly interconnected, the need for a comprehensive understanding of online safety has never been more critical. This webinar aims to bring together experts, thought leaders, and participants from around the globe to share insight, best practices, and strategies for navigating the digital landscape safely. Ladies and gentlemen, now allow me to present the agenda of our opening ceremony. We will first have the welcome remarks by Simolec Director Dr. Wahyudi. The official opening remarks will be delivered by Honorable Director of Simeo Secretariat Bangkok, which will be represented by the Deputy Director for Program and Development, Mr. John Arnold Siena, followed by a special remarks as a support from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic Indonesia, which will be delivered by the Head of Administrative Subdivision of the Secretariat of Directorate General of Higher Education, Mr. Didi Rustam. After that, we have presentations and discussions led by our moderator, Ms. Tri Kurnia Reful Andina, SIPMA from Yogyakarta State University. At the end, we will have informations regarding certificate, which will also close the webinar. To begin the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, let us now enjoy the presentations of Simeo Color. Okay, we are sorry for the technical problem. We will restart the video. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, proceeding to our agenda, may I invite the Director of Simeo Simolek to deliver welcome remarks. Dr. Wahyudi, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Mbak Sani, our delightful MC today. Esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, honorable moderators, and beloved participants from across the globe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good day and greeting from Simu Simulek, Jakarta, Indonesia. It is with my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 27th anniversary celebrations of Simulex and the commencement of our international webinars on ensuring internet safety, safeguarding your online journey. Today, we acknowledge and celebrate 27 years on unwavering commitments to educational excellence and innovations. In recognizing the profound impact of the digital landscape on our daily lives, we convene virtually today to address the critical issues surrounding the internet safety. While the internet serves as a conduit for global connectivity, collaborations, and information sharings, it also presents big challenges such as online security issues, privacy concerns, and the imperative of gaining digital literacy skills. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, in an era characterized by relentless technological advancements, navigating the integrated web of information and connectivity demands both cautions and knowledge. The primary objective of this webinar is very clear: to empower each participant with the requisite knowledge and skills to navigate the vast expanse of the internet safely. In this increasingly interconnected world, a comprehensive understanding on offline safety has become more imperative than ever. Throughout the upcoming sessions, Ms. Triconia Riful Andina, of Universitas Negeri Jakarta, will serve as our esteemed moderator. Our deep gratitude is also extended to our distinguished expert. First, Professor Paulina Panen from Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, Mr. Aribowo Sasmito of Mavindo Indonesia, our friends, Ms. Wong Lai Cheng from Simboriksa, Malaysia, and last but not least, Dr. Rudolf Lancerna of Polytechnic University of the Philippines. They will share their invaluable insights, best practices, and also strategies to equip us with the necessary tools to navigate the digital realms securely. Of course, we are also honored to have Mr. John Arnold Sasisina, Deputy Director from Program and Development of SIMU Secretariat, who will deliver his address and officially inaugurates the webinars at the appointed times. As we commemorate Simulec 27th anniversary, let us reaffirm our collective commitments to education, innovations, and progress. Together, let us embark on this enlightening journey to ensure internet safety, thereby safeguarding our online experiences for a brighter and more secure digital futures. Thank you very much, and let's the webinar comments. Wishing you all productive and insightful sessions. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wahyudi, for the remarks. Moving to the next agenda, may I invite the Director of Simeo Secretariat Bangkok that will be represented by the Deputy Director for Program and Development, Mr. John Arnold Siena, to deliver his remarks as well as officially open the webinar. Mr. John Arnold Siena, the time is yours.
Distinguished guests, esteemed participants, officials and staff of Simeo Simulec, headed by Dr. Wahyudi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Simeo Regional Open Learning Center's international webinar on ensuring internet safety, safeguarding your online journey. On behalf of Datuk Dr. Habiba Abdul Rahim, the Simeo Secretariat Director, I am honored to join you today as we embark on this very important initiative to promote a safer digital space for all. Before we delve into the essence of our discussion, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude for your presence here as we commemorate a significant milestone, the 27th anniversary of Simulec. It was on this day 27 years ago that Simulec was established, marking a journey dedicated to the advancement of education and learning. Today, we not only celebrate the years that have passed, but also reaffirm our commitment to fostering knowledge in the face of an ever-evolving digital era. The theme of our webinar, Ensuring Internet Safety, Safeguarding Your Online Journey, underscores the critical need for awareness and preparedness in the digital age. As our lives become increasingly intertwined with technology, the internet serves as a powerful tool that connects us globally. However, this connectivity also exposes us to various risks and challenges that demand our attention and proactive response. The 2023 Global Education Monitoring Report for Southeast Asia, focusing on technology and education, noted that the region has experienced a fast growth rate in the use of internet in the last 10 years, with 400 million estimated internet users. Southeast Asia also reports a high rate of internet access at home, at an average of 57% of students in the region having access to the internet at homes. The report also highlighted that against this background of rapid adoption of technology in education is the insufficient capacity to address cyber attacks, online sexual exploitation, and abuse of children, issues that are of growing concern in Southeast Asia. Dr. Charles Weir, lecturer at Lancaster University School of Computing and Communications, who led a study on the future of technologies, pointed out the possible magnitude of some of the risks forecast by some of the experts. This only goes to show that while the opportunities in leveraging technology to innovate and improve education in the region abound, potential risks need to be confronted head on and addressed. The primary goal of this international webinar is to empower individuals with the knowledge and skills necessary to protect themselves from potential dangers on the internet. Today, we have gathered a distinguished panel of experts, thought leaders, and participants from around the globe who will share their insights, best practices, and strategies for navigating the digital landscape safely. Ladies and gentlemen, in an era where information is at our fingertips, we must recognize the responsibility that comes with it. Internet safety is not just a personal concern, but a collective one that requires collaboration, understanding, and continuous education. As we explore the dimensions of cybersecurity, privacy, and digital citizenship, let us engage in meaningful conversations that transcend borders and contribute to a safer online environment for everyone. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Semolec for spearheading this initiative and providing a platform for dialogue and learning. Their commitment to advancing education in the region and beyond is truly commendable, and today's event is a testament to their dedication. To all our esteemed participants, I encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your experiences. Let us use this opportunity to build a community of informed and vigilant individuals who can navigate the digital world with confidence and security. In closing, I am excited about the discussions that will unfold during this international webinar. Together, let us embark on a journey of learning, collaboration, and empowerment. Thank you, and I wish everyone a productive and insightful session.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. John, for the remarks and for the opening this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have special remarks from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic Indonesia, which will be delivered by the Head of Administrative Subdivision of the Secretariat of Directorate General of Higher Education, Mr. Didi Rustam. Mr. Didi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mbak Sani. Good afternoon, selamat siang, esteemed speakers, distinguished guest, committee, and participants from around the world. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm honored to be here on behalf of Directorate General of Higher Education of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology, Republic of Indonesia, to deliver special remarks on the very special occasion of the 27th anniversary of Simolek. Firstly, allow me to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Simolek on reaching this remarkable milestone. So over the past 27 years, Simolek has played a crucial role in advancing education and fostering collaboration in the Southeast Asia region. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather not only to celebrate this anniversary, but also to address a matter of utmost importance, ensuring internet safety. As we navigate the vast and dynamic digital landscape, it becomes increasingly vital to equip ourselves with the knowledge and skills to safeguard our online journey. In the context of Indonesia, we are guided by the Merdeka Belajar policy and program, which translate to emancipated learning. So this policy emphasizes the importance of providing individuals with the freedom to choose their learning pathways, enabling them to acquire relevant skills and knowledge for the 21st century. The theme today's webinar aligns seamlessly with the principle of Merdeka Belajar as we grant individuals the freedom to explore the vast resources of the internet. It becomes imperative that we also empower them with the tools to navigate this space safely. Internet safety is an integral aspect of ensuring the freedom of to learn in the digital age. Ladies and gentlemen, we at the ministry level appreciate Simolec for bringing together experts, thought leaders, and participants from diverse backgrounds to share insights, best practices, and strategies for navigating the digital landscape safely. It is through collaborative efforts such as this that we can collectively address the challenge posed by the ever evolving in online environment. In conclusion, let us embrace the spirit of Merdeka Belajar as we delve into discussions on internet safety. I believe that by fostering a culture of responsible and informed online behavior, we can create an environment where individuals can exercise their freedom to learn without compromising their safety. Once again, happy 27th anniversary, Semolek. We're happy to welcome more initiatives and activities by the center in the future time. Thank you, and I wish everyone a fruitful and enlightening experience during this international webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay, a special thank you for Mr. Didi for taking your time to attend the opening ceremony of this webinar. You are welcome to join the rest of this webinar, but we understand if you have other urgent matter, feel free to dismiss yourself, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, proceeding to the next agenda, presentations and discussions led by our moderator. I would like to inform you that the moderator of today's webinar is Ms. Tri Kurnia Reful Andina, SIPMA from Yogyakarta State University. Ms. Tri Kurnia Reful Andina serves as a young lecturer in the Department of Communication Science at Yogyakarta State University, Indonesia. Her teaching and research endeavors primarily encompass media studies, gender studies, digital literacy, inclusive digital society, civil society empowerment, and cultural media studies. She is also deeply concerned about media dynamics and the political economy of media practices in Indonesia. She contributed to various projects, including a study on public service media policy, the significance of digital literacy in combating illegal online lending in Indonesia, employing digital literacy to address hate speech and hoaxes, and online gender-based violence cases in Indonesia. Without further ado, we let Ms. Tri Kurnia to lead and facilitate the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Sani. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself once again. My name is Nia. I'm going to be a moderator for today's event. Actually, I'm so excited to be a part of this event because the topic is very relevant, not only relevant to my study, but also I what is it like the topic is very relevant since we have seen like there are a lot of people are using digital platforms right now, and they have much access to online spaces. That's why we conduct this webinar to address about this issue about the internet safety and also online safety, and why it's important to address about the internet safety, because sometimes we fail to recognize the dangers and the downside of the online space. That's why in this webinar we need to discuss it further, what we should do, what we should not do to create better online space, and hope this event will give a positive contribution to the issue of the internet safety. So we have four prominent speakers who are already with us today. The first speaker, maybe I will greet one by one. So the first speaker is Mr. Ari Wibowo Sasmito. Are you with us right now, Mr. Ari Wibowo?
Assalamualaikum. Hi, good to see you again, everyone.
Okay, are you ready for the today's presentation?
Well, I did ask for ladies first, but what can I do? Because everyone think that I should be the first one. So yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you so much. And the second speaker, we have Miss Lei Chai Wong for CMO Rexa. Hi, Miss Wong.
Hi, Boo. Pleasure
Hi.
meeting you. Thank you for having me
Okay.
today.
Yes, nice to meet you again after a month. No, more than month.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And the third speaker, Prof. Paulina Panen from Universitas Terbuka. Are you with us right now? Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, and hi. Okay, and the fourth speaker, Dr. Rudolph, from Polytechnic, Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Dr. Rudolph, are you with us?
Yes,
Okay.
hello. Selamat sore.
Selamat sore. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to do the presentation for the next 2 hours, and each presenters will have 20 minutes to present the topic, and we will have the question and answer session at last for 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to invite Mr. Ariwibowo Sasmito to be the first speaker, and before that, I will read a short introduction of Mr. Ariwibowo Sasmito. So today, Mas Ari will be presenting uh, uh, the topic titled Combating False Information in Today's Era of Artificial Intelligence, the Easy Way. So, Mr. Ariwibowo Sasmito is the co-founder and the fact-check specialist of Mavindo, Masyarakat Anti Fitnah Indonesia, a non-profit organization focusing on combating false information, or hoax as commonly called in Indonesia, literacy education, and social movements by training and convening with journalists and media, educating consumer of online media, and by building communities of online fact checkers. So I think, Mas Ari, you have 20 minutes to present, and we will keep the question at last. But for the participant, if you have any question or concern, please write it down in the column section, and we will discuss it after all the presentation are done. Okay, Mas Ari, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Let me press on the screen sharing, share sound. Which one is it? You should see my presentation screen right now. I'll start the timer, 20 minutes, right? Okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate Simolek for the 27th birthday. Really privileged to also participating in this event. For the first session, I'd like to present this image is something that has been circulating in the internet for quite a while. I'm sure you're familiar. Obviously, you know this is a AI generated since normally cats do not hold their food using their hands, they'll be using their mouth. So the first presentation, this is my session, would be the combating false information and to this era of AI, artificial intelligence, the easy way. As you most likely already know, this is how it starts. The AI related, AI generated content starts from people making satire or parody, entertainment, meme, and other purpose, which is fun related. This is the picture of that quite shook the whole world because people are quite surprised that these days AI is already capable of making such what do you call it, natural, such realistic image. Pope Francis wearing cool outfit, and then the second one on the right, Donald Trump seems to be arrested by the several police officers. This is how it's been doing so far. One of the example, which is not surprising because after all, technology is a double-edged sword. It depends on you whether you're going to use it for good purposes, good reason, or you're going to use it for other type. Let's just play the video.
I came to tell you about our latest achievements. We have bombed a hospital full of patients, doctors, women and children in Gaza. We have violated all international laws, and yet no one dares to condemn what we are doing. Not only that, but we are also committing genocide in Gaza. We close the borders on them and cut off electricity and water from them and prevent the entry of medicine and food, and we throw all kinds of missiles and explosives at them to the extent that we bombed them with internationally prohibited white phosphorus. We practice all kinds of terrorism against the Palestinians, but we say that they are the terrorists. We control the media, we control the money, and we control the weapons. And the fools around the world believe that we are fighting terrorism. They do not know that we are the source of terrorism.
As you already know, this is Benjamin Netanyahu's
I came to
doctored
tell
or
you
edited video, because obviously this is not the content, this is not what he said. And then let's move on to the next example. Another example is the doctored or edited video using AI of Anies Baswedan's speech. He is one of the Indonesia's president candidate. He appeared to be speaking using Arabic language. Let's play the video.
جميعا ومتابعة وعود الاستقلال لتحقيقها لكل قطرة دم، التزام بترميم إندونيسيا، إعادة تأسيس أركان الديمقراطية، إعادة توجيه مسار الأمة، تذكيرنا جميعا ومتابعة وعود الاستقلال لتحقيقها لكل قطرة دم، التزام بترميم إندونيسيا.
Let's just continue because it's just a few seconds video. So the question is, how do we check this AI generated or doctor contents? Because the problem is, the first problem is that the voice is cloned, so it's going to be sounds almost exact or similar to the original voice or sound. And the second one is that the mouth movement is so realistic. It is so difficult to tell the difference with which one is the real mouth movement, which one is the editor doctor, because unlike the movement from back then, if you happen to be with the same age with me, back then when we were watching telenovela, obviously the mouth movement is different from the dubbing language. Basically, there are four general default way of how to tell the AI generated contents. The first one is by looking for plasticky or shiny aspects of the image of the video. The second one is to check for any aesthetic inconsistencies. For example, the lights and the reflections is not matched with the video. And the third one is to find the correct context related from the authoritative sources. And the last one is this is the classic one, by doing a reverse image search. And this is something that has been coming up lately. We have AI detectors tools. The question is, what about using AI detectors? Yes, it helps, but the problem is none or not yet any of the tools able to provide certainty. Normally they'll be providing percentage of confidence level, like for example when you try to check content, the tools will like for example, like what I provided in the example is this content is 80% AI generated. So far I haven't able to find any content that able to 100% tell that this is AI generated. So the solution would be to do the get down and dirty, doing it manually. The first example that I already provided previously, sorry, this is something that I fact checked earlier using reverse image search. Video verification indeed is about checking video, but basically it's not so different from image verification. What we need to do is to just pause the video, take the screenshot, and then search for the video source coming from authoritative or trusted sources. And this is the result. This is a few months ago. I actually made a fact check about this. This is coming from authoritative source. This is from the Israeli PM YouTube account, and it actually have a quote unquote bonus feature because we can enable the closed caption, the subtitle, and also the uploader provide the transcript. So basically, we can actually tell the difference between the fake video with the real video. And this is the result. Obviously, Benjamin Netanyahu did not say what appeared to be said in the previous video. Let's just listen to it.
Israel is at war. We didn't want this war. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way. But though Israel didn't start this war, Israel will finish it. Once the Jewish people were stateless.
Now, if you notice the mouth movement, previously the mouth movement seems to be synced, and this one is also synced. It's definitely, it's quite difficult to be able to tell the difference between the original video and the doctored or edited video because yeah, it's called the deepfake, so it's quite advanced. Let's just skip because basically I was just trying to show you the difference between the original video and the doctored or edited video. And this is also a second example. What we need to do is to check for any artifacts because either accidentally or on purpose by providing, sometimes people, although they are mean, trying to deceive other people by making fake videos, they leave a little bit of what do you call it, clues for the people to notice that basically this is AI generated. But not everyone is willing to do that because they have malign intention. This is actually what do you call it, revenge response from the supporter of the Joko Widodo, the current president, because previously before this deepfake video circulated, there are those who made videos of President Joko Widodo speech. He actually spoke in English, but then it was edited to make it appear that he's speaking using Chinese or Mandarin language. We can since the AI generated content is not always perfect, you're going to see some artifacts, you're going to see defects, it's in low resolution, etc. What you need to do is to just look closer for the details. Pay close attention to the areas that I put a circle mark. Let me play the video.
التزام بترميم إندونيسيا، إعادة تأسيس أركان الديمقراطية، إعادة توجيه مسار الأمة، تذكيرنا جميعا ومتابعة وعود الاستقلال لتحقيقها لكل قطرة دم.
Now, as you notice, the mouth movement is synced with the Arabic language, but unfortunately, you can actually see that, let me refresh the microphone, if you notice. Let me mute this. Hang on. You're not supposed to see that. Sorry. Let's play this by me. You will see that the mouth movement indeed, he actually spoke using Bahasa Indonesia, but since it's using deepfake, then the mouth movement is synced. It actually appears that he is speaking using Arabic language. But on certain case, sometimes this is considered as a not deepfake, it's shallow fake, deepfake, or any other terms. You will see that the microphone is, going up and down because it's basically this area is the area where it's edited. Yeah, it's kind of it gives it away. Now, another example. I think I still have a lot of time because I actually designed this slide to be 2 minutes for every slide, and I only have I only have 10 slides. I'm not sure you've seen this. This is for joking purpose circulated in Indonesia WhatsApp group by saying that, oh, this gentleman is really lucky that he is having such more than one wife, all of them beautiful. So what about this one? If you pay a closer look, we know that this is AI generated because the ladies have similarities, such as they have similar body, they have about the same sizes, they have not so many different figures and other physical related. Obviously, they are all beautiful. But the question is, what is it that really gives it away? Do you have any idea? Take a closer look. I'll give you 20 seconds because there is the time that I need to actually notice that this is a deepfake. You can use deepfake detectors, you can use other tools, but in order to provide certainty, you still have to do it manually by taking a closer look and takes some times. Okay, let's just continue then, since this is not an interactive session. If you notice the three hands, so basically, no, besides of obviously this is AI generated, you can by doing fact checking and tell the certain aspect of this AI generated image, you can convince the public by providing them that this is what gives it away, because obviously normal people only have two hands. Then why is it that they have, and this picture the husband seems to be he has three hands, three palms. So that's what gives it away. So the one thing that we have to do on daily fact checking on AI related is that we have to spend so many times on. It's a slow process, unfortunately, but in order to be able to provide certainty to the public, besides of using tools, you actually have to take a closer look by providing this type of inconsistency, this type of abnormality. By hey, besides of we both know that it is AI generated. Obviously, this is wrong because a normal person does not have three hands. So therefore, this picture is for certain we can actually say that this is AI generated. So yeah, I still have 6 minutes. So I think we can use the rest of the session for other purpose like question and answer. But thank you. I'm Aribo Sasmito, co-founder and faculty specialist of Mavindo. Do visit my social media accounts by clicking s.id as Aribo Sasmito. And if you need to access this slide, go to s.id/as-simolek. Thank you. Let's go back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Mas Ari. Before we move to another speaker, maybe I would like to apologize to Mas Ari because I mistakenly called you as Ari Wibowo instead of Ari Bowo, right?
Yeah, that happens.
Sorry, because in Indonesia we have an actor named Ari Wibowo, so sometimes we cannot differentiate between your name and also the artist. But I
Yeah,
think.
but yeah, he's way more handsome and famous than me. So
Okay, thank you so much. That's
you're
very
welcome.
interesting presentation from Mas Ari. As we know that we are facing the AI era right now, and I also actually I have a particular attention also in the AI and also misinformation and disinformation, and I also pay attention on the violence and also the AI. So I think the presentation
Nakaano
from
ka?
Mas Ari really is really beneficial for us
Naka-off, ano ka?
to differentiate,
Mute
to
ka, naka-mute?
identify critically the disinformation and misinformation that spread in the online space. Okay, thank you so much once again, Mas Ari. We will move to next speaker, Miss Lai Chai Wong. So, but before we start with the presentation, I will read the short introduction of her. Okay, so Miss Lai Chai Wong will be presenting from Simoreksa, Malaysia. Will be presenting the topic titled Digital Wellbeing, Media and Information Literacy for a Healthier Digital Environment. So Miss Lai Chai Wong is a media and communication educator with more than 15 years of combined work experience in corporate communication, media management, and knowledge management. She actively contributes to the development of media and information literacy or MIL, and digital literacy regionally and globally through her speaking, consulting, and publishing work. She focuses on developing the mile of educators to create a multiplier effect while actively advocating for mile in the public discourse and classroom settings. She has been involved in many projects focusing on miles, including conducting a series of webinars and tech camp to train teachers and educators in Malaysia and the Philippines on a multidisciplinary approach to media and information literacy, organizing the ASEAN Teachers Media and Literacy bootcamp for teachers and educators from Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. Ms. Wong's remarkable achievement include receiving the prestigious Global Media and Information Literacy Awards, supported by UNESCO in 2022 for her outstanding contribution in the field of media and literacy, and recipient of Chicha training program for young leaders in 2013 and U.S. Department of State Professional Fellows program in 2015. She currently pursuing a PhD in the University Sains Malaysia, Malaysia. Okay, I think you can start now, Miss Wong, with your presentation. The time is yours.
All right, thank you, thank you. Is someone sharing the slide? All right. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Tria Crunia, for your very kind introduction. A very good afternoon to all honorable officials from the Ministry of Education and Culture, Simolac, esteemed speakers, and of course, the participants joining us from this region and beyond. First of all, happy anniversary to Simolac. And of course, thank you very much for having me in this very important webinar today to speak about a topic that I concern very much, and also a topic that is actually very close to my heart. All right. So next slide, please. Please allow me to share the outline of my presentation today, which I'll be talking about the current digital ecosystem and what are the online activities happening across Southeast Asia and the impact of this digital technology, especially with AI coming up, what is the impact on society, communication and education? And we understand that there's a lot of our personal data are being spreading across the internet. How do we actually protect them? And finally, I will also share some of the tips and tricks with all of you on how to safeguard your online journey. So before I begin my presentation today, I just want to share this very famous quote from Michael Foucault, a French philosopher, who once said, "My point is not that everything is bad, but that everything is dangerous," which is not exactly the same as bad. If everything is dangerous, then we have something to do to protect ourselves. All right. So next slide, please. So take a look at this, the digital ecosystem. This is every minute of the day. People worldwide are actually watching YouTube videos, probably reading some news and articles on Facebook and all that. So what I can conclude here is the internet has actually had a significant impact on our daily lives. It has somehow changed the way we live, we work, and we play. Those days, when you go to the restaurants, we communicate face to face, we talk to each other. But now, as you walk into the cafe or the restaurants, you see everyone's actually busy occupying themselves with the phones. So people are every minute around the world, people are actually busy checking emails, sending text messages, or probably buying something on Shopee, or watching TikTok videos, or probably reading some news on Facebook, or probably on the internet, like probably watching TikTok videos. So if you look at this, I'll share one example. 95 million photos and videos are shared on Instagram each day. Each day, can you imagine? 95 million. And in this process of interactions, actually, of course, we gain a lot of new knowledge at the same time. Also, a huge amount of false and misleading information were generated. One of the example is what Pak Ari has mentioned, deepfake videos, right? So next slide, please. So the latest data also indicated that I think the Senior Secretariat Director has mentioned there are more than 5 billion individuals are using the internet. And that is almost like 65%, almost 65% of the world population. Can you imagine the overall population? There's more than 65% are actually internet users. All right. And of course, along the way, out of this total, almost 60% of them are actually social media users. That means almost all of us has a social media account. So the reason why, okay, next slide, why people using the internet, all right? So based on the survey, we did some study and we found that actually one of the main reason why people, as you wake up from the bed, the first thing you take up your phone, so you have to start checking your phone. So why do people, going into the internet for what purpose? Of course, the research actually found that people actually access the internet to find information. That is the primary reason. Or probably when you're working or probably you're studying, you need to find some information, or probably you want to buy a product. You need to Google and you search for some brands that's available in the market, right? And of course, the next reason is more than 50% of people who actually stay up, keep up to date with news and events happening around them through the internet. All right. So next slide. If I zoom into the Southeast Asian region, you'll be very surprised, guys. Worldwide, out of the social network users worldwide, um, we actually, based on the study, it estimated that actually more than 60% of worldwide social network users are actually based in Asia Pacific. That's within our region. So, in conclusion, that means the Asia Pacific region has the highest rate of social network users. And in fact, if you look at the next table chart, you notice that of course Facebook is still remains the most popular social media platform in Southeast Asia. So people log into Facebook every day, probably to update some information about, or probably about their activities or happenings, or probably they log into Facebook just to get some updated information on news of their friends, their peers, or probably things happening around them lah. So again, internet uses the internet has actually helped connect billions of people around the world. It helps us to enhance access to information, of course. It also helps us to educate new generation. However, to us, I think the internet users should be aware of the threats that the online world can potentially present to them. For example, the spread of misinformation, disinformation, deepfake videos, issues like privacy and cyberbullying. So next slide, please. I think according to, this is a data which was recently just published by the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum has actually reported that the top 10 most critical risks, top one is misinformation and disinformation. And according to this Global Risk Report 2024, misinformation, disinformation are the biggest risk facing the world right now, especially distrust in media, access to AI, it's a dangerous combination, the report warns, and with misinformation as the top ranked risk. So I'm not saying that AI is dangerous. Of course, we need to learn to use them wisely. So internet users experience a high frequency of disinformation on media, and it's widespread. And of course, we as users, all right, internet users, we need to be critical, like what Pak Ari mentioned just now. We need to be critical, all right? So in Asia, next slide, in ASEAN, all right, a lot of online activities happening, all right? Especially when it's near to election, you'll be seeing a lot of fake news and false information spreading. I think you guys can also still remember, like during the COVID-19 pandemic in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of fake news been spreading about the vaccines. In fact, the Thai elections, all right, there's a lot of false information and fake news was spread on TikTok. In Indonesia and Malaysia as well, there's a lot of scam issues. Every day I read news articles about scam. People fall for scam, all kind of scams. So it makes me started to wonder what happened, and probably we should actually equip citizens to be much more critical, to be able to identify and distinguish what is real information and what is false information, in order for them to protect themselves, right? So next slide. Next slide, please. So government across the region are actually working very hard to ensure citizens are equipped with this competency. And the ASEAN ministers has also actually commenced a meeting, and they have actually developed a guideline on to combat fake news and false information in the media last year. So I hope more of such efforts will be done among the governments in this region, and of course capacity buildings to equip our citizens in this area is particularly very, very important. But before that, let's do a very quick exercise in next slide. I just want to know, since what kind of, every day we're being exposed to different kind of media forms. Can you share with me, like, what form of media text did you actually use before coming to this program today? It can be in the form of online, offline, example, probably TikTok, probably you log into Facebook, or probably you actually listen to a podcast, or you send your friend a message on Facebook Messenger. So probably you can share some of your thoughts in your comment sections. And in fact, all of us, from the day we wake up all the way before we go to bed, we are with our phones, and of course we use different kind of social media, different form of media text to communicate or to look for information. All right, so you can share your thoughts, and we will read that in a while later. So, all right, next slide, please. So, what is the impact? All right, what is the impact on this digital transformation technology, right? As people spend more time online, be it whether for work, for school, or for social interaction, all right? So extra attention is actually needed, all right, to address screen addiction, to support their well-being. Sometimes people tend to get depressed, when they accidentally left their phone at home and they forgot to bring out the phones, and people have been so dependent on that. So of course this is something that we have to find balance, all right? And digital connectivity and the use of social media has also exposed learners, like especially our young children, to a lot of issues like safety, um, digital identity theft. All right, so it has a very negative impact on our health, our digital well-being, and addiction lah to internet. So I actually read most of the audience in today's sessions are all teachers and educators. So as teachers and educators, we have to actually ask ourselves, what can we do to ensure a safe digital space for online learning? And as a teacher and as an educator, we can also ask ourselves, what can we do as teachers to support our students, to support our students. So next slide. So based on a study by UNESCO, we found that actually only 47% of our 15-year-old kids can distinguish facts from opinions. Meaning, there's a difference between facts and opinion, all right? So, meaning our learners cannot blindly rely on new media and technology, just as the generative AI, because all these technology are not immune to mistakes, all right? So how do we build resilience among our children? I think when it comes to this topic, emphasizing critical thinking skill in school is very important to protect our children, and is key to combat misinformation. All right. So, and next slide, please. Protecting our children data is also some very important issue that we need to look into. All right. So education technology in the region collects data on students, whether they register an account on Google or something. They need information. Whether suddenly your child wanted to download an app, a game app on the phone, it requires information. All right. So it's basically those education technology applications are collecting their data. In fact, and less than 1 in 3 countries in Southeast Asia actually guarantee data privacy in education, all right, by law or policy. So something needs to be done to protect the data and the privacy of our children, all right. So next slide. We understand that in this digital age, data is our currency, All right. You register for an account. You need to key in your data. For example, your gender, your age, your profession. So when you want to register for an account, you need to key in your detail. When you want to buy some products online, you need to key in your details. So our personal information is private and sensitive information about ourselves. And of course, you should take note that its safety should be treated seriously. So what are the personal data? All right. So there are many types of categories. Sometimes we indirectly we share those data and we may not know that those are actually personal information that we have right to share or not to share. So next slide, I'll share with you what are personal data. All right. Next slide. It is important to know what is your personal data. Personal data are basically your personal information, all right, that can include sensitive and non-sensitive details of a data subject. So these can include basic information like your name, your age, your gender, place of birth, date of birth, all right. Identification, for example, your health ID, your driving license, probably your personal insurance number, your biometrics like your fingerprints, of course. So it's considered as your personal data. Authentication, like for example, your passwords, you cannot share your password, your email address, all right, your security answer. Medical and health records as well. It can be considered as one of your personal data and it should be kept private and sensitive. For example, your health records, your blood types, and in fact, your professional information, financial information, your communication, for example, your chat between you and your friends, you were chatting and you actually log in your WhatsApp account using the web desktop and all that. So all this, all right, are considered private and sensitive information. Your contact, probably before you share your contacts, maybe someone asks you for the contact of a friend. Probably you should actually consult your friend and ask permission whether you can actually share them before you uh, review it or share it with other people. Your browsing history, some of the websites that you have visited, your device, and of course the location. Nowadays sometimes you want to keep yourself private, but suddenly when you travel with your friend to Bangkok, for example, your friend tend to be so excited with the travel and they start tagging you and say, oh, I'm with Miss Wong now traveling to Bangkok together, having a great journey. Then everyone knows you fly to Bangkok, right? So those are personal data, all right? So how do you actually protect your data? Next slide. Sometimes you will encounter uh, a, probably the bank actually call you and suddenly say, hey, miss, we found that there's a transaction, in this particular your account. So I'm calling from this particular bank and I want to ask all this information to verify your account. So before you actually provide your accounts to third party or share this information, these are the simple questions that you should ask to protect yourself. Who are looking for your data? All right. What data is being requested? What kind of data that they want? Why they need the data? How will the data be processed? All right. How will the data be processed? And of course, at the end of the day, for how long are they going to keep those data? All right. So these are the simple questions. And next slide for today, I'll be sharing some of the tips and tricks how to protect yourself for your online journey. All right. These are all, of course, these are not the only ways, tools that you can actually learn to protect yourself, or probably question that you can ask to your students in classroom. But there's also other tools like what Pak Hari, the earlier speaker, has actually shared. So I'll share some of it. I think the first one is definitely managing your digital footprints. All right. So next slide. So what is a digital footprint? A digital footprint is actually a digital shadow of an electronic footprint lah. So meaning it includes like the website you visit, the email that you send, or probably the Google form that the information that you submitted on Google form online. So it's split into two types of categories. It has an active online content creation, like the post that you posted on Facebook, the photo that you upload on Facebook, the video, the message and the chat, or probably the online comments that you commented on your friend's post, the likes and the loves that you click on Facebook, or probably a membership in an online groups. Those are your digital footprints. So you have to be very careful with the website that you log in, or probably you need to be more conscious over which Facebook page that actually you follow and what comments that you like, because it indirectly leaves a digital shadow on the internet. All right. And then another type is the passive one. All right. The passive one are the data generated by the platforms such as your browsing history, your IP, internet protocol, device information. When you want to register for an app, you need to create an account, right? You need to put in your details on the app before you are allowed to create an account for that. So that is an example of a passive footprint. And of course, online content about you posted by other, like your friend tag you, you tag the photo, probably comment on it, something like that, post a photo of you online. That is a passive digital footprint. So you need to learn to manage them. All right. So next slide. So just for your information, everyone has a distinct footprint that is traceable. So you need to know some of the ways that how your digital footprints can be tagged, which I've mentioned just now. And just for your information, nowadays, many employers are performing online search in addition to reviewing your resume as well. So one of the way, they do a spot check of you before they want to call you for an interview. They search for your name online and all that. Even people like us, when we want to look for a speakers to engage in a webinar, we also search for their profile online. So it leaves a digital footprint. So it's very important to ensure that you leave a positive, all right, positive digital footprints. All right. So that's one way to protect yourself. And the next tip is use social media safely. Next slide. Of course, it's important for you to think before you share. All right. So if you see like the deepfake video that Pak Ari have shared just now, so probably you need to think first whether is this real? Would it cause harm to others if I share the video? Probably it will create a public panic or public chaos. So you have to think before you share. Don't share your personal data or information on your post. Delete personal information shared on messages and ask recipient to do so. Sometimes people want to make things easy. Never mind lah. I send to you my account number on WhatsApp. You can do a transfer for me to this account. So sometimes you have to also ask the recipient to delete that after that. All right. So, and of course, don't click on some of the links that you are being tagged. So probably you need to delete and tag yourself. All right. So some suspicious link. All right. Next slide. So for you to access the credibility of a source, all right, you can apply this strategy in the classroom. All right. You need to teach our students how to access the source of credibility by using these approaches, 4 approaches. Easy way to remember, sure, S-U-R-E. S stands for source. Can it be trustworthy? You check who's the author, what's the background, and when it was published. All right, probably that post was published like back in 5 years ago, so it's no longer applicable. And maybe someone kind of like trying to repost again, but it may no longer be relevant. Understand what you're reading. What is the topic? When you see the post like the deepfake video just now, you need to understand what is the topic about and what's the objective. Why are they actually posting this particular deepfake video and what are they trying to do from there? And do some research. All right. So the doing some research is what Pak Ari mentioned. It's like a reverse image search. Try to compare the resources. Is this the same image that has been kind of like has been uploaded? All right. And at the end of the day, you need to do some evaluation, do some unbiased evaluation, by comparing other perspective. All right. So this is a very simple approach that you can actually use to verify and validate information. All right. And the next one is, the next tip will be on teaching lateral reading. All right, this is not common, the next tip, all right? But I think it's quite new to many of you. Next slide, please. This is think before you click, all right? This is, we have been promoting media literacy, and we believe that media literacy is about the principle of inquiry. We need to teach our children, we need to educate our young people about future generation to question, to inquire, ask questions, ask the right questions. All right. So to be functioning, to be a functioning adult in a mediated, especially this AI uh, um, era, all right, people need to distinguish um, different media forms and know how to ask basic questions. Whatever you see, you read, or you hear, all right? So whatever content that has been generated, be it AI generated content or information or content, social media content that you see or you read online, you know, you need to teach your children to ask who made it, who paid for it, all right? What is the source of information? All right. Can I trust this source? Is this a fact, or is this an opinion, or is it something else? And what does this information want me to think and want me to do? And the next question you should ask is, where did it come from? All right. Where did it is from the official website, or probably it's from a third party website? And why are you sharing it? You know, you should ask questions like, okay, if I share that, what will be the implication on people? Will they actually gain extra knowledge? Or probably what is the implication if I share this information? Will it create some public panic or chaos, or maybe create some anger among people? So you have to think. And when it was published, that's very important. You know, a lot of cases, many times we receive a lot of information on WhatsApp content, a lot of information that was shared, you know, was forwarded to us on WhatsApp content is probably a content that was generated, published like 5 years ago, you know. So people re-forward and re-forward, and people thought that, oh, it's recent, all right? So these are the five W question we should ask ourselves. And the next one is, next slide is to teach lateral reading. All right, this is very new. If I would say not new, but new to many of us here in Southeast Asia. So what is lateral reading? Lateral reading is a technique where through which the reader goes deeper in determining the author's credibility. All right. So if you teach students lateral reading, it helps students to stay informed. And of course, the most important thing is practice their detective skills. All right. So how do we do lateral readings? So as a teacher, you can guide your students in the appropriate and effective use of this tool by explaining the distinction between lateral reading, read across site, meaning versus vertical reading. You know, vertical reading, you do deep evaluation, but lateral reading means you read across sites. All right. And we need to teach students to do that so that they know how to evaluate information sources for credibility purposes. Right. So this is another way to protect ourselves online. And finally, next slide, UNESCO. All right, so UNESCO has been working very, very hard to actually promote the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy competencies. So it's a set of competencies that empower citizens to access, retrieve, and understand, evaluate information and media content. So according to the UNESCO, it has these three very important components. So to be a media literate society, you must have the capability to ability to access and retrieve information appropriately. That's number one. You need to have a competency to critically analyze and evaluate information. So when you do critically analyze and evaluate information, you ask the 5W questions, right? That I shared just now, or probably the SURE components. You know, ask questions, distinguish facts from opinion, you know, question how social, economic, political forces shape our opinion. And the third one is creation, the ability to master the production of know-how information. You need to know how they actually generated this content. Again, a very good example like what Pak Ari has shared, just now. Okay, why this man with this 4 wives, so you need to know how they generated it, how to detect, oh, they have 3 fingers, 3 hands and all that. So it's very, very important, all right, to protect yourself. And finally, conclusion. All right, the internet has helped connect billions of people around the world to access information, to help educate our generations. So as internet users, I think it's very important to equip citizens with MIL competencies, media information literacy competency, so that we know how to critically question what we read, what we hear, and what we learn from the internet in order to protect ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wong. Okay, so Ms. Wong just shared with us how to tackle with the issue of misinformation, disinformation, how to protect the data, how to safeguard your online journey, and many more. And this is very, very beneficial for us, as you mentioned before that there are a lot of people in Southeast Asian nation accessing the digital platforms. That's why we have to aware of the consequence of the digital platform also. Okay, thank you. So I just want to remind the participants that if you have any question, please write it down on the comment section. And now we can move to the third speaker, Prof. Paulina Panen from Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. But before that, I will read the short introduction of Prof. Pauline before. So, Dr. Paulina Panen, MLS, complete her master's and doctoral education at Syracuse University, United States, commencing her career as lecturer at FKIP Universitas Terbuka in 1986. She has also been a prolific writer and speaker in various national and international forums. She served as an academic expert at the Ministry of Research and Technology Higher Education, later assuming the role of acting director of Innovation Systems and Secretary of the COVID-19 Research and Innovation Consortium at the Ministry of Research and Technology, or National Research and Innovation Agency. Currently, she serves as a senior advisor to the Indonesia Cyber Education Institute at Universitas Terbuka, and is actively involved in offering online courses as part of the Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, or MBKM, initiative across Indonesia. So, Prof. Pauline, you can begin your presentation now. So please, thank you.
Thank you, Budia. Thank you very much. I think, first of all, like many others colleagues here, allow me to congratulate Simio Simolet for its 27 years of in service in Indonesia and abroad. When everybody was speaking, I was just reminiscent about my being there 20 years ago. Apparently, well, my hair is already graying. I can see that time flies away so fast. 20 years already. I was there in the 7th anniversary of Simio Simolet. Okay, my title of presentation is the do's and the don'ts in going digital. It is work that we have done in ICE Institute. So my partner Eka Julianti is also assisting me in completing this presentation. And thank you to Pak Ari, to Ibu Wong, to Mrs. Wong. I believe what was presented by Pak Ari and Mrs. Wong is already providing me a good foundation to just skip the introduction a lot so that we can go into the what we call the difficult part, the do's and the don'ts in going digital. However, I will repeat a little bit of what Pak Ari and Mrs. Wong were presenting, because we share the same scoping, I believe. Okay. The going digital terminology is actually an OECD terminology. Most of us use the digital transformation instead of going digital. It's the same. The name, the meaning is the same with the digital transformation. It's using all and integrating all the digital technologies into all parts of our activities and life. And expectedly, we use this new digital technology to continue innovation, to seek a new and better ways of doing things. The history of digital transformation goes back into the 1950s, even more before that, the 1920s actually. But the milestone was in 1950s, where the invention of microchip and semiconductor transistors was announced at that time. And then it was accelerated very, very much by the COVID-19 during the 2020s. And since then up to now, it was proliferating, like Ms. Wong has already mentioned just now. 1 minute in the internet means so much to all of us. Going digital actually has a lot of benefits. It increases the speed of response. We can respond anytime, any place, without any waiting time anymore. And it also drives the culture of innovation, and we are ready for any disruption, because we are, get used to doing new things. Oh, if cannot be this way, and then it should be that way, using whatever technology we have in hand. And then we are ready for any disruption, because anytime your WhatsApp is ringing, your telephone is ringing, and then also your WeChat perhaps is also making noises. So anytime you are disrupted. And then it also empowers decision making, because we have a lot of data right now. Previous years, perhaps we experienced where we don't know where to find the data, where we don't know how to find information. The library is very scarce, etc. But now everything is in there, is in the internet. As long as you want, as long as you have the tool, you can use it, and you can empower your decision making very well. And of course, at reduced cost. Usually, we remember if we have to collect data across Indonesia, for example, that is very expensive. But now, with one skills only to take the data out of the internet, you can do the research and the analysis, and then almost without money, almost without any cost at all. And of course, we expect, everybody will say that it enhances the quality of our life, of our decision making, of our activities, and of course opens new business opportunities and collaboration. That is the benefit, yeah. And then if we go into the schooling area or the education area, then we know whether it is student or whether it is faculty member or teachers, they are very overwhelmed with all the gadgets possible, with all the application possible, without their knowing what to do with it. Some students coming from a millennial generation or Z generation or even Alpha generation, they are just very fluent and they are very familiar with all the gadgets. but not all the teachers, not all the faculty members. They are very confused with those kind of things, and they are very fearful to have it. And then even if they have it, like a handphone, for example, they don't know whether it can be useful for teaching and learning in the school. Meanwhile, the teaching and learning landscape, due to COVID especially, is changing. It's changing, leaving that the small group instruction is only taking part of 25% of the overall total school activities or learning activities in school or in campus. And what is about the rest? The rest will be online learning and personalized online learning, for example, or individual learning and collaborative learning, also using online as well as physical collaboration. But what it used to be a very big majority of the activity, which is 100%, if it is possible, within the four brick wall in schools or in campus, now is only consisting only 25% of the whole activity. So remember that the technology is there, the technology is confusing to some of the faculty members, while the landscape of the teaching and learning activities are transforming. Then somebody, this is Bersin from Deloitte, saying that we are now already at the intelligent learning. I remember some of the teachers coming from the village in Indonesia, for example, said that if the learning is already intelligent, why do our students need teachers? And are we going to still have our work, our job as teachers if it is intelligent learning already? So the fear is there. And how we can tackle that, I think that is really an issue for us. Yeah. What changes? In addition to the landscape, we see that online tutoring has increased. Okay, the landscape is changing, but right now the teacher also trying to do online tutoring. Some of it you can find easily, like for example, even from UNESCO, you can find all online tutoring, online courses, and it's free. It can be used for everybody. And the more the teachers in the villages said that, oh, it's already in the internet, so I don't need to teach my student that. Even if I need to teach my student, they can just use the material. Is that so? That is misinformation or misconception about the going digital. And then also digital content has increased, whether it is good or bad, whether it is fake or not fake, like Pa Ari was saying, but it's there, it's there for everybody to understand, for everybody to use. If you are good, then you can do the evaluation. On the other hand, the self-paced learning also become the new normal, and then these provide more provocative issues to teachers and lecturers, saying that, okay, it's already on the internet, they can learn by themselves, they don't need us anymore as teachers. And further, there is no restriction with digital learning. You can do it anywhere, anytime, any place, with any gadget at all. Okay, and now we are supplemented with the new tools, which is artificial intelligence. So our world seems complete, but for the teachers, for the lecturers, they feel like some of them, they are left behind, and some of them already at the front, and how we can handle that situation. Okay, This is already mentioned just now, the advantages of going digital, globalization, familiarity with technology, self-directed study, progress tracking, environmental benefit. But the teacher and the lecturer, especially the senior ones, they don't see the advantages very well. What they see is how that going digital is going to be a threat for them. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, and they are more fearful with this AI tool. Although Pak Ari was mentioning that AI tool is really making our world upside down with fake news, deep fake videos, etc. But actually, AI is a tool for teachers which is very useful, enhancing their teaching methods, saving time, expanding their knowledge and skills, and collaborating. They can use AI for collaborating with other teachers and experts. And they can use in many ways, ladies and gentlemen. They can use in many ways AI for teaching and learning. For students, of course, students know everything about AI and they can use every aspect of AI with a good prompting. They can, yes, produce deep fake video as well. But there is something that we can do to help them use the AI in a good way. Other sources also mentioning all about the good things about going digital, digital transformation, and also AI. However, in Indonesia, we do have issues, first of all, with the player, which is the teachers and the lecturers who are at the senior age, at the senior level. They feel threatened. Second thing is that we have plagiarism, fake news, bullying, fraud, cybercrime in the digital era. And these ones were not there when digital technology was not really being used in the schooling or in campus. Okay, first of all, we say that do not pretend that it doesn't exist. So for all the lecturers, for all the teachers who are senior enough, not coming from the millennial era, of course, perhaps they're coming from the traditional era or from the baby boomer era, please do not pretend that it doesn't exist. It is. It exists in front of us. It's already there. So what we need to do is we need to learn it, to use it collaboratively. Because if we walk alone, we don't know anything. We may get lost. So please do it collaboratively. Perhaps we can share what they have, what we have, etc. And then to learn how to question or evaluate information. Please do not trust everything you got. Please learn how to question and evaluate information. And then learn to be flexible. So it's not rigid. It has to be like this. It has to be the what we call the most important. It has to be the best information. No, we have to be flexible and open-minded to hear what others say and be curious why they are saying that. In the context may be different, the situation may be different. And please use technology to spark imagination. How to teach students to use technology to spark imagination instead of doing the deepfake videos, deepfake photos, for example, or the false information. This is a very hard thing for the lecturers and also for the teachers to do. How to teach our students to use technology in a positive way. And the other thing is that if we are supposed to accept the changes, if we are supposed to be live with them, befriending with them, then we need to learn new skills for going global, for going digital. Ladies and gentlemen, like Pak Ari said, like Ibu Wong said, we need to evaluate digital information because the skills of evaluating information is one aspect of the critical thinking. And we are born with the ability to do critical thinking. So we believe that no information is entirely neutral and not all information is equally reliable. So we have to choose which one is reliable, which one is not, and which one is in the context of something else, like Pak Ari was mentioning. And then one responses to information are not neutral either, because my response is influenced, of course, by my own attitudes, belief, and experience. Whether we like it or not, that is my response, which may be different from other people. Ladies and gentlemen, do evaluate the digital information that you receive. Please do not take it as it is. And then we know that only 10% of the internet users actually do not consider the truthfulness of factual information they find it online. That includes me. No, 29% of internet users do not make any checks on factual online. Not me. Okay. The 26% of social media users say they would not tend to check the truthfulness of news. Well, for me, if I feel that the information is fake, I don't want to bother. That's it. I just leave it. Okay? Because I don't want to spend my time in doing the checking, etc., because it doesn't concern me at all. Yeah. However, please validate your online information source. Do
Ibu,
not accept as it is. Yes.
maybe you could make it faster.
Okay, I will. Thank you. To look at, this is already mentioned by Mrs. Wong, and at least if you cannot do the whole thing like this one, you can do the three things only: check for the creator, check for the content, whether it is correct or not, valid or not, and check for the context, like the video of Anies Baswedan and the video of Benjamin Netanyahu. That is because of the context of the what we call election, the context of the war, etc. And for the faculty members and teachers who are involved in producing online courses, I would suggest that we go using the OER as well as become the member of the Creative Commons. Please use the Creative Commons because with Creative Commons license, we can build strong ethical foundations in learning, create environment of mutual respect, and support the values of collaboration. Now, once again, do not pretend it doesn't exist. A lot of false connection, misleading content, false content is there. Yeah, so do not pretend it doesn't exist. Please be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, the technology has assisted us in doing new things very well, yeah, very comfortable to our lives with new, it can provide us also with, whether we like it or not, we develop new attitude and new mindset, but at the end, it is not the technology that we need to be concerned of, it is the ethics, the moral, and the integrity, how we use technology, how we embrace technology, and how we befriend with technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Pauline, for the fruitful presentation. So from the presentation, we can conclude that we must be aware of the transformation of the technology that rapidly changing, and the education process also change, yeah, and we should adapt to it. And Professor Pauline also mentioned that what we should do, what we should not do when we accessing or using the digital platforms. Thank you so much, Professor. Okay, we move to the fourth speaker right now. Dr. Rudolph will be presenting the cyber wellness in the open, flexible, and distant learning. But before that, let me allow me to read the short introduction of the Dr. Rudolph. So, Dr. Rudolph Antoni Alacerna is an associate professor in the Department of Communication Research of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Communication. Currently, he is assigned as a director of the Institute of Open and Distant Education and the chief of the Center for Research and Extension, both in the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Open University System. Prior to that, Dr. Rudolph served the different institution as an accredited broadcaster of the Philippines Broadcasting Association. He has served as a radio anchor in the armed force of the Philippines Radio. He also worked as a researcher in two different textbook industry. Among his research interests are communication studies to marginalized groups, specifically in the deaf community, media and information literacy, and other development studies. He obtained the degrees Bachelor in Broadcast Communication, Master in Communication, and the doctoral degree in Education Management at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Okay, Dr. Rudolph, the time is yours.
Okay, salamat sore, salamat tengah hari, good afternoon, magandang hapon, mabuhay from the Philippines. I want to start my presentation through saying happy 27th anniversary to Simulec, and we are happy that this is the beginning of our partnership and friendship with our institution, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Open University System. I want to acknowledge my friends from MIL for Asian Network, Ms. Wong Lai Cheng, and Miss Sarani Balkis. Because of them, I was able to initiate collaboration with Simulec. Hello! I chose this topic, cyber wellness, as part of my interest under the umbrella Media and Information Literacy. Since I am part of our institution's open university system, I am very confident to discuss with you the cyber wellness in open, flexible, and distance education. Okay, in the next slide, let's define first a cyber wellness according to Mengin. So this is a proactive and positive approach to interacting in digital world. We experience serious problems in the digital world that includes cyberbullying, cyber scam, and the likes. No, as being proactive means that netizens are able to create or control a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened. On the other hand, positive approach means that though individuals are free to do anything in the digital technology, he or she chooses to be a responsible digital citizen. Okay, in addition to the next bullet, it also says the cyber wellness is all about being safe, respectful, and smart when using the internet. Cyber wellness also promotes safe spaces. You know, in the Philippines, violating safe spaces are equivalent to various legal concerns or any criminal offense. So better to be safe and respectful in using technology, not only in the Philippines, but in the whole world. In the next slide, is about communication and cyber wellness. No? As mentioned, I'm a communication researcher under the Department of Communication Research. I use the linear model of communication by Harold Laswell to better explain that elements of communication should be considered as factors in ensuring cyber wellness among individuals. So look at the boxes. No? In the model, we have the source, the message, the channel, the receiver, and the effect. Anchoring this theory in the context, I am referring to the open, flexible, and distance learning, like our institution, the PUPOUS. The source is the producer of the digital content. followed by the message. The messages that are the digital contents. The channel are the ICT. Receiver pertains to the digital content audience. And the effect is all about the impact of digital content. Okay, let's check the elements now as factors to consider. Let me leave these questions considering the elements of communication. First, the source. The source as the sender of the digital content. My question is the sender considers his or her audience before producing the digital contents? Okay, different audience have different ways of interpretation of messages. Hence, sender of information is advised to consider the audience when crafting messages to ensure that wellness is being promoted in the interaction. Second, do we need to validate the message? This is to avoid misinformation, disinformation. Sometimes we call it fake news. And the artificial intelligence, as explained by the first and the second, as well as the third speakers, uh, the way messages are crafted is also essential to your interaction, including how well they are in case they will receive your crafted messages. So therefore, digital citizens are able to classify what is the authentic information and what is the product of the artificial intelligence. So this is the same question with Ms. Wong Lai Cheng. No, are you able to classify what are the facts and opinions? Third is the channel. Is it the right tool to be used in conveying of messages? There is a theory in communication that says that the channel is the message. The fact that one tool is utilized, there is already a message associated. For example, my boss gave me a memo. Memorandum is a channel, and without reading its content, I might feel anxious or maybe happy. This says that the channel affects others' ways of interpretation and eventually acquiring wellness through the messages. The fourth is the receiver. Are you sure that the consumers of the digital contents understand the message on how the source relay it? As mentioned earlier, there are different ways of message interpretation which could affect acquiring wellness. No? For example, in the media and information literacy, I already proposed to, or I already shared to Ms. Wong Lai Cheng that we are frameworking media and information literacy to those individuals or learners who are not able to hear. Lastly, effect. Most of the time, the question in effect is usually taken for granted by the source of information. Did you check the concept of wellness as the messages are sent to the receiver? And by understanding communication and cyber wellness, individuals can engage in digital communication responsibly, foster meaningful connection, and contribute to a safer and more inclusive online community while prioritizing overall well-being. In the next slide, okay, since cyber wellness is important to consider in the elements of communication, especially in online interaction, learning through open, flexible, and distance learning also involves online interaction. Having these ideas in mind, it only says that cyber wellness should also be promoted in open, flexible, and distance learning. So these are some needs on why cyber wellness should be promoted. Okay, in the first bullet, there is an increasing engagement of technology integration in traditional schools that are not considered as open and flexible and distance learning institutions. The COVID-19 pandemic is the main cause on why the face-to-face setup was shifted to full online. And after the pandemic, some institutions implement blended learning to lessen the stay of the students in schools. During that time, learners have extreme exposure and technology, which is prone to possible digital risk in case cyber wellness are failed to be integrated. Okay, going back from in the second bullet, aside from the increasing engagement of technology integration in school, there are also increase in terms of learning institutions that offer academic programs through open and distance learning. Since online classes became feasible and effective for them during the pandemic, they stay in the implementation of online learning. Hence, there is another risk for there is another a digital risk in case a digital or cyber wellness is not integrated in the online learning. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, the rise of cybercrime, cyberbullying, online harassment, online scams, and the like became serious concerns even before the pandemic. And these lead to increased levels of anxiety and challenging for the victim's psychological capacity. And hence, absence of cyber wellness among digital citizens threatens also our mental health. So we really need to integrate or promote cyber wellness. Lastly, increasing cases of misinformation and disinformation, as also explained by the previous speakers. Actually, infodemic is another term coined, no? An excessive amount of information about the problem that is typically unreliable. It spreads rapidly and makes a solution more difficult to achieve. And in case this happens, truthfulness of information are no longer important. And eventually, research will not become significant anymore. This linked to the idea that no development to be expected. This time, how can we say now that we are in the knowledge-based society if we fail to validate the source of information and even verify those information? Okay, that question is related to, again, to the presentation of the other presenters. And to sum up, without cyber wellness considerations, there may be potential risk related to excessive screen time, digital distractions, cybersecurity threats, and online privacy concerns. However, these risks can be mitigated through proactive measures such as promoting responsible technology use, implementing cybersecurity protocols, and raising awareness about cyber wellness. In the next slide, ensuring cyber wellness in open and distance learning environments requires a combination of proactive strategies to promote online safety, um, as well as digital citizenship, and responsible technology use among students and even course specialists or faculty members. Here are some suggested strategies. First, cyber wellness in open, flexible, and distance learning curriculum. This is not about offering new subjects, no, or offering new course about cyber wellness. Here, open, flexible, and distance learning managers are recommended to explore more on the integration of cyber wellness as including in the universities or institutions policy, curricular activities, and even extracurricular activities that cover topics on media literacy, online safety, cyberbullying prevention, healthy balance technology use. In our practice in PUPOUS, we strengthened our partnership with our Office of the Counseling and Psychological Services to offer counseling services for some cases of cyberbullying, even learners with suicidal tendencies. According to our licensed guidance counselor, this indeed a best practice in the field of guidance and counseling because for a long time, school guidance programs and services are offered through to traditional schools and not considering the technological factors like having an online education through OFDL or online flexible and distance learning. Okay, last 5 minutes. Another is a cyber wellness training for teachers. It is important to reiterate in every faculty development program and orientation the strategies on how cyber wellness be recognized in the teaching learning process and teaching practices. Again, in PUP Open University, we conduct quarterly tertulia because there are values to be integrated to attain the overall wellness among ourselves as administrators, as course specialists, as employees of our institutions, which are vital in serving our students. In addition, this might also include how cyber wellness be incorporated in designing syllabi or course guide in our case, the instructional materials, and even in the learning management system. In one another strategy, since digital citizenship is mentioned, digital citizenship is about the participation of the digital citizen on societal issues and promotion of digital citizenship principles and values among students in the OFDL, encouraging them to be responsible digital citizen by respecting others' right and privacy, practicing online etiquette, and so on. As parental involvement, in parental involvement, um, parental involvement, we have in our institution, no, as another strategy in integrating cyber wellness, parents are considered as school stakeholders in our institution. So we cater learners with special needs, such as learners with total blindness who regularly attends online classes. So these learners are usually assisted by their parents or guardians, involve parents in promoting cyber wellness at home by providing resources, workshop, and educational materials on various cyber wellness topics. Community engagement. Based on some studies, this is where students feel comfortable discussing cyber wellness issues, seeking help and support from peers and educators, and collaborating on initiatives to promote cyber wellness awareness. Okay, of course, regular evaluation and feedback assessment. So this is the basis for the improvement on how cyber wellness is integrated in the open, flexible, and distance learning. So by implementing these suggested strategies, the open, flexible, and distance learning institutions can create a safe, supportive, and empowering online learning environment that prioritize wellness of students as well as the educators. So it is hoped that all of us are doing initiative to promote cyber wellness in facilitating learning through technology in your respective institution. Okay? Thank you very much. And in case, no, next slide, please. In case you want to cite, in case you will use this presentation in your future research, you may cite this presentation in these ways of how I write it. Okay? In the last slide, this is my email address. Okay, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rudolph. We should use cyber wellness, yeah, to promote safe space and to be smart in using technologies. What is it like? It's very interesting. You use the concept of Laswell and also McLuhan, I think, because I'm also a
Yes, Marshall McLuhan.
yeah, Masalah McLuhan. So that's why it's very interesting to combine the concept to analyze and to explain about the cyber wellness. Thank you so much, Dr. Rudolph. So maybe we only have a little time for the question and answer session, but maybe we can directly move to the question that already okay. So I think the team already make a list of the question for the speakers since I don't have an access. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now we are moving to the question and answer season. So the first question is from Belinda Haya Insira for all the speakers. And the question is there any tips and tricks on how to familiarize kids and young adults to protect themselves online? Maybe all the speakers can answer the question from Mas Ari.
So again, it's not ladies first.
Okay. Or maybe if the speaker want to answer first, just open the mic and answer the question.
Okay, it's okay. I was just kidding. I'll answer the question. Yeah, actually, the good thing about the youngsters, they are actually as a digital native since before they were little kid, and also in many parts of the world during the COVID, obviously, kids will have to stay at home and study using going quote unquote going to school using their phone in in one hand, this is what do you call it? In one hand, this is sad because normally kids should be free. They should be play at school. They should be able to do many of physical activities. But because of the pandemic, they have to stay at home and have to study using computers or smartphone. But on the other hand, this is actually has become something that that accelerates so much that even my kids, for example, this is something that happened to everyone. I think we actually don't need to teach the kids of how to use the phone, how to use the computer. They just be able to read themselves. So the point is that there really isn't that much that we can teach the youngsters. Of course, they need teaching, they need training, but by default, digital natives are already capable of capable of doing digital literacy since they are even when they're little kid they are really familiar with the digital devices and social media and everything. And also this is also related to the Bu Paulina said that it is actually the digital migrants are the one who need to learn from the youngsters because uh, although it's quite difficult for the senior generation, for the digital migrants to learn. We also need to include them to make sure that at least whenever they see misinformation, whenever they see deepfakes or everything considered as a dangerous information, they need to be the one who's do not become those who also spread it. But please be aware that although you are more senior, although you are older, doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot teach you what to do because in many countries was family WhatsApp group, it is the youngsters that often get they're being told that you just a kid, you know better than you do not know better than us because we know better than you. So this is the time when the youngsters are actually going to become the future of digital literacy and the internet safety and digital media. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mas Ari. Maybe one speaker want to answer the question, or we move to another question.
Yeah, maybe what can I share something, Miss Kurnia?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so probably from my side, probably some of the tips and tricks will be what I've actually shared earlier. Critical thinking skills is important. We probably for children to be functioning as an adult in a mediated society, they need to be able to ask basic questions lah, about everything they see, they hear online. So it goes back to some of the questioning techniques, which is the basic inquiry of media literacy, the 5W questions. And another tips and tricks, which I have also highlighted earlier, is the lateral reading. All right. We need, is one of the important aspect, train them to be detectives, young detectives probably question whatever that they ask, hey, why this video, where it came from, how it originated, why this video is posted, what they want me to do. So that's another crucial aspect lah, the lateral reading part. We can practice it at home or even in the classroom as well. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Wong. Prof. Pauline and Dr. Rudolph wants to add, or we move to another question? Maybe we can move to another question first, yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe we can move to the next question. Okay, this is the question is from Asri Anggoro from SMKN 29 Jakarta for Mas Ari. So the question is, are there any recommended AI tools for teachers in high school to use? Mas Ari, this is the question for you.
Well, yeah, I think you can easily find it using Google because these days AI tools. I think Miss Wong will be able to more answer that on the detail because she's the one who's more related to the education. But I think several tools are available to how to make it how to show the students that teachers are able to present using AI technology. For example, even using what do you call it, the AR, the augmented reality. Because like for example, I actually see this video where a teacher from a Western country, he is using augmented reality technology by how to make the history classes to be less boring. So when the children is asking about the Abraham Lincoln, uh, asking about other who's already deceased, he's actually providing uh, uh, high technology and cool ways of how to attract children to not just providing history lesson using textbook, but also actually using high technology to attract the young children to make it to make the teaching less boring. I think Miss Wong will be able to provide more information on this.
Okay, so I think each speaker will be answer one question.
Okay.
Can move to another question. Maybe we will have the specific question for Miss Wong after this, right? Okay, next question. Okay, from Ratna Dewi to Prof. Pauline. So the question is, any ideas on how to apply AI to create teaching modules?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is a very interesting question and very, very, what do you call, very real question. How to apply AI for creating teaching modules. Well, you can do a lot of things in creating teaching modules using AI. You can ask the AI to do a summary. You can ask them to write down a content for you. For example, my content will be on what you call microeconomics. They can just search and do. The machine will do for you. This is microeconomic. You want the history of microeconomics, for example. You want the cases of microeconomics. They can do everything you want. Yeah. And then you can also ask Leonardo or OpenAI for the picture, yeah, the what you call the figures, the photo and images, for example, creating images, which is very wonderful, like Pak Aribowo was presenting to us. But once again, please evaluate whatever the AI is providing for you. They can even do searching for the what you call references for you and do a summary of those references for you. So don't worry, AI can help you a lot. But once again, you need to do the evaluation of whatever the result coming from AI. That's one thing. Second thing is that please be honest, be frank, be ethical, saying that this work is coming from AI. It is not my own work. That is necessary. Now, I tell you a story of my own experience. I was once writing a report of my research regarding the learning journey of what we call students taking online courses. And then what happened is that I said to the AI, please make what we call a kind of a more sophisticated language, the language of a researcher, for example. Please rewrite this paragraph. And what happened is that I found out that all my variables are gone because they are using sophisticated word, which is not of my variable, of my research variables. If I'm not very careful at that time, I can just submit the report as it is, which is meaningless to a researcher. Okay, so I need to take a look once again, and what happened is that I need to rewrite again. Instead of the AI rewriting, I did the rewriting. Okay, coming from the AI, I did the rewriting using my variables, using my methodology, terminology, etc. So after that, then I can be sure that it is my work It is not a AI work because I do the rewriting again. Although I understand and I admit that the language coming from the AI is very, really, really good for me as a second language speaker. But please be careful. So first, evaluate the information. Second is that be frank, be honest that this work is coming from AI. You are assisted by the AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Pauline. Very comprehensive explanation and answer. Okay, the next question. Okay, the next question is from Arion for Dr. Rudolf Lacerna. So the question is, can you please share stories of cyberbullying in the Philippines, if any, and how to deal with the problems? Please, Dr. Rudolf, you can answer the question.
Yes, cyberbullying regularly happen in online discussion, in online classes here um, uh, in the Philippines. And with that, as I mentioned in my previous discussion, we coordinated with the guidance and counseling's office of our institution. And this time, our guidance and counseling also provide services for online education that requires um, um, comprehensive intervention to those students who are victim no, of cyberbullying. And sometimes we give instruction to those who consider as as the suspect, no? The we gave information because most of the time the information they are identified and the information they relay is or are very sensitive. So we need to talk we refer them to the guidance and counseling's office and not to talk anymore considering that this is a very sensitive topic and there are legal matters no regarding those concerns. In the Philippines, cyberbullying is also considered as a crime, so we forward it to the concerned offices.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Rudolph. That's okay. So maybe the last question for Miss Wong, last but not least, from Bastian Kalandra, for Miss Wong. So the question is, in Malaysia, is media and information literacy already a common topic? As I believe in Indonesia, the educators are familiar with the term yet. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Kurnia, for this question. Yes, for your information, in Malaysia, media and information literacy is not really a common topic, but because there's a lot of fake news, disinformation happening in the country, so in fact, there's a lot of policymakers and advocates are actually advocating for media and information literacy, and we encourage this media literacy subjects to be probably taught in schools. So in fact, it's not in the curriculum. It's not like in the Philippines there is. So what we do was we advocate, like for example, the MIL ASEAN network that we have that me and my colleagues like Prof. Rudolph and a few of us here has established. We try to train teachers to integrate because teachers in Malaysia already have a very heavy workload. We, by introducing a new subject into the classroom will actually give more burdens to them. But we also cannot deny that with the technology transformation, with the evolution of AI, it also creates benefits, help to educate children. At the same time, it also poses a lot of risk. So what we do was we try to teach teachers, guide teachers, hey, how can you actually integrate media and literacy components into your class, into a science classroom, into a maths classroom? For example, when you teach a science subject, how are you able to distinguish between a science fiction and science, between facts and opinion, So when you teach subjects like languages, you can also integrate that by encouraging students, hey, you want to take one of the news article from the internet and probably you read and you analyze them by using the 5W questions. So indirectly, you're actually integrating the media literacy components into your across curriculum. So that's what we are actually actively advocating for. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much for all the speakers. Thank you so much for the insight, for the fruitful discussion. Very much appreciated. And thank you also for the audience who actively participate in this webinar. Also for the certificate, the MC will explain it to you after this. Once again, thank you. I will give it back to the MC. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you to our wonderful moderator, Ms. Trikurnia, for keeping the session engaging and informative. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of this webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us today in this insightful webinar. We hope that you have gained valuable knowledge and insights from our distinguished speakers and moderators. Before we end this wonderful event, may I present to you the official social media accounts of Simulec as shown on your screen. Please feel free to follow us to find out the newest information about our programs. And also don't forget to claim your e-certificate by registering to this registration link before 5 March 2024 and fill out a questionnaire link also before 5 March 2024. The certificate will be ready to download on your e-training account on March 13, 2024. We would like to extend our appreciation to all of our speakers for sharing with all webinar participants about the importance of comprehensive understanding of online safety. We also thank our audience for your active participations and engagement in this event. We look forward to seeing you in our future events. Have a good day and bye-bye.
Thank you everybody. Thank you. Nice meeting you all. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Happy
you, everyone.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
To a bright and promising future, we'll rise to the call of the times and create a stronger tomorrow. Let's start to make a difference, teaching everyone to learn through science, health, and technology. We will share our expertise by promoting knowledge and policies. We can build a better world. Let us take a stand for our visions alone, bringing future plans for the people to grow in a life filled with happiness and green. Here a savior, building the future is our legacy. We'll achieve our goals through partnership, creating opportunity.